Good morning, everyone. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to try my roommate's phone to do a full garden tour because mine shuts down constantly from the heat. It's about 9:30 in the morning here. So I want to start over here. I want to show you what I ended up doing with this. Good morning, girls. There's the girls. Loving watermelon, loving life. This is the daylily that I got on Sunday. Planted it in here. Had some help from a neighbor on some gardening. Yes, that's a whole other story. And she has a bunch of other types of lilies that are tall like this. So I planted 3 behind this one, and I've been watering it for 2 nights. But this is alongside of the chicken coop. And then this is my yellow lily that I've had for some years that was in a container. Took that out and put, this is a real big fat one, like 2 or 3 of these on the side. So yeah, figured the girls could have something that looks a little pretty. I have a bunch over there that she gave me that I have to plant. So let's do a garden tour and stay tuned because I have to do a major harvest. I just haven't been feeling well. I'm getting pains in my chest. It's just been too hot here. Okay. Calendula, parsley. This is the sunflower that my granddaughter, Adeline James, when we got a ring installed, I had her planting seeds. And yeah, so this one is going to get ready to die soon, but there is another bloom. So very cute. She's only 2, and I got her started young. Cabbage. We need to talk about the cabbage. Some of these are going to be ready to harvest. Some in the back were getting chewed by slugs. I even showed that to my neighbor. She agrees. So lots of cabbage in here. Some will be ready now. Some will be ready later. I definitely have to get some of my cauliflower because I think some of it might be spent. Ones in the back are getting bit. So I do have to do a big harvest. There's my shadow. Marigolds. Lemon basil I planted there. I have little things hidden inside this no-till garden, like some extra parsley, some cilantro's being hidden in here because, you know, that always likes to bolt. My borage from Cindy's place looks gorgeous. My Acre red cabbage is coming up. Well, doing pretty good. These over here are a little bit smaller, and I'm sure it's because it's getting shaded out. Let me walk in here up the middle. This is, I have to think. It's early. Bear with me. Wait, wrong plant. Yeah, see, this already has a bite on it. So it has to be from the slugs. I planted straight 8 cucumber right there because why not? But I'm going to have to try to see if I can lower you down some. Now that I'm over here, I want to try to put that in. Oops, maybe not. Just want to try to, I wanted it to attach to the fencing, but I'm pretty sure this is where my slug problem's coming from. So I'm just gonna, for now, leave that in between. And I have to get a couple dead leaves off. So I have an extra cucumber over here. I also planted a cucumber down here. I'm not sure though, there's a bunch of little leaves coming up. Anyway, here is my yellow. This is my white. And I think what I did was, I either did the rainbow or the red Swiss chard. These are a little bit smaller, but that's okay. That can go into fall. I may get some decent cauliflower. I may not, but do you see all this? This is slug damage. Totally. You can see my cauliflower is bulging, so I'm going to have to do a big harvest. And I may have to come in and thin some of these red acre cabbages out. I might move them over to a bed to where I'm getting ready to harvest some cabbages. But that is definitely slug bites. So that's been the only pitfall, because I think they climb up this. I don't know, and they were just eating that like crazy. I'm actually using that plant now as like a decoy, so it leaves my other things away, you know, leaves it alone. Plus there's lots of spider webs. Okay. So yeah, the red acre cabbage, there's red acre cabbage on that side too. I have some beets in between in here. Try to protect them, because if you know, you know. If you don't know, I went from a gazillion storms last year to no rain whatsoever. They keep saying we're going to get rain, and we get nothing. A lot of my borages are falling over because they're just getting so big, but absolutely beautiful. This is a graffiti cauliflower. I want to taste that one compared to my purple of Sicily. And there's another one right there. Like I said, beets. Since my Brussels sprouts are huge, the plants, and they're looking pretty good, and you can see some babies going on in there. So that's all Brussels sprouts. So celery, the calendula, parsley, cilantro's in here, cabbages, snowball cauliflower, graffiti cauliflower, some red acre cabbage, Swiss chard, the white, the yellow, and I think I did red, like ruby red. The Brussels sprouts, 2 graffiti, cauliflowers right here in the front. And I know for a fact I stuck a cilantro. Hopefully, oh yeah, see? If you want some things not to bolt, you can bury them in between other things. But what I do have to do, like I said, is a big harvest and come out here and free up some of these leaves. There's bigger sprouts, Brussels sprouts going on right there. But these plants overall, and I don't want to jinx myself, but these plants are doing well. Before I go on with this, I do want to mention that the pepper blossom end rot was from last year. I had 3 peppers. I posted that video. 1, it's educational, and 2, my friend Miss Andale. I wanted her to see that video. So no, I'm not dealing with blossom end rot. I put it in the title and the description. These are my potatoes. Red potatoes and like an Idaho potato. Some are starting to fall over, but they are not ready yet to be harvested. And look at this beauty. Let me get you closer. There's a bee on it, you could see. This is the one where I said it almost looks like chocolate, but it's like a purple. Can't wait to save seeds off of this one. It's absolutely gorgeous. Peas for seeds. Chamomile's done. I'm just going to trim the whole top. Pull the borage out of the back there with my friend. And I might put some lilies back there for some more privacy. And this tower, it's just not working out. It's getting burned. I was going to just do all flowers, but I think I'm going to end up moving it. Echinacea, I have to come out here and cut some of these. If you don't know, you can make echinacea tea. Lots and lots of zinnias. This is my humongous borage that just keeps falling over. So when I say plant some beauty, absolutely. Look at these bad boys. Gorgeous. Lots of different sunflowers. Some are starting to open. So I have a whole wall of sunflowers. I did plant gazinias, but I'm confused because I keep losing them. Where I put them at. I don't know if they're in the pot or back here. These are the red gazinias that I bought from Home Depot. Planted them. This is going to give me a lot of wonderful zinnia seeds. I love me some zinnias. Beautiful. Okay, here's my path to walk through now because it's a jungle. Craziness. This is, I think, a Chardonnay cherry tomato plant that has been suffering from the heat. This is my pot with, I did water everything last night. Sweet potatoes, my herbs. I did a video, but then my phone shut off. This is like sun scald on this purple opal basil. That's how hot it is here. I've harvested this Italian oregano multiple times, and as you can see, it's coming back again. Sage, thyme. There is some dill there. This one is, I think, lemon, German thyme, lemon thyme, some parsley, but multiple harvests off of, that's why it looks a little naked, multiple harvests off of the rosemary. Not rose, I do have rosemary. It's right there off the Italian oregano. So remember, if you're going to plant this somewhere, it's going to come back every year and it's going to spread. Some lemon basil, 2 potatoes in a pot. I think it's 2, 3 max. My other sweet potatoes and in the tote. Just looking, the way that it's looking, I mean, I went from multiple 8 hurricanes last season to no rain here at all. This is my Panko De Gallo. I love Panko De Gallo, and I love my Come Salsa With Me pot, so I decided to do this as a Panko De Gallo. And there is my salsa. My Come Salsa With Me. It's getting red tomatoes. It's a determinate tomato, so all the tomatoes will come in at once. Green pepper and a jalapeno. And let me show you some cilantro, parsley. And I had to do a harvest. There is jalapenos galore on my plants. Look at that. So yeah, I love the Come Salsa With Me challenge that I came up with. I think that's great. I think we're going to do that every year. It looks wonderful. Grow bag that has grilling zucchini in it from Indiana Backyard Gardener. Doing well. I just have to take off a couple of the leaves. The tower. I've been giving all the lettuce to my chickens because it's starting to bolt, as you can see. So I have a dwarf echinacea, not echinacea, here we go again. Okay, wait, I have to think. This is a form of basil. Let me smell it. No, I don't really remember what I put in most of this. This is gorge. This is all a mescaline. And now I need some ideas what to put in here. And then later on I'll go back in and drop some more seeds for the mescaline. I absolutely love the tower like that. It has pak choi in it. So this has really turned into the chicken tower. But down here I was experimenting. I did some kale. Has some bites on it. I did either some form of a squash in here. I think I dropped a seed in there. We're supposed to take it out and then forgot. Some curly kale. Some more Swiss chard right there. And yeah, all kinds of things in here. But what I did, I don't know if you could see in there. I dropped a red Acre cabbage in the holes. Wasn't sure. But I saw, that one doesn't have any. I think I was one short. If you saw that 1870s homestead, she grew cabbage in hers. So I was like, oh, let me just try it. Then I realized this is a Mammoth Rock cabbage, a red one. So I'm probably going to have to take it out. There's one in about 4 of them, I think, and plant them in a bed. So this is going to have to end up being redone. You know, put something else in it. Chickens are loving it, but it's starting to get spent. Okay? Starting to go to seed. But the mescaline mix, fantastic. So pak choi is on this one. Looks like I may have put cilantro maybe in there, but it's so hot here. Here is a Swiss chard. I'll give that to the chickens. Marigolds. I love these towers. These are great. But as you can see, even the spicy one wants to go to seed. So I have to rip all this out and plant seeds I just have to figure out what. This is, I think, the atomic grape. Starting to get some. You can see in there. Or they might be the blueberry. Barry's crazy. Yeah, it's one of the two. That's in the front with some more zinnias in this pot here. Let me check my other pot to see if this is where I put the gazinias. I have a lot of deadheading to do. This is seeds, my friends, to save your seeds. Nope, not really seeing them. It's crazy. I planted 2 packs. I saw one, it had striped lines on it. I'm not seeing any now, and I did some wild flower seeds at the bottom. So I'm going to deadhead these today and save the seeds. I may drop in some more zinnias. Same with this, have to deadhead it. So they're in the front. Here's my other, whoa, look at the size of this beetle. Yikes. Okay, this is my newer one that I did this year, herb barrel. This is going to end up being for the chickens. There's thyme, rosemary. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Parsley that's coming up. I dropped some seeds the other day. Curly parsley, some basil. Make sure you keep pruning your basil. And lemon basil right there. This is going to be for the girls, my chickens. Here's my other green stalk planter. This is Kahuna Beans, and I must have planted a little bit of something else, but they're starting to come in. And I'm not seeing the bean beetle. Just getting some burning going on a little bit. As you can see with these leaves. I mean, it's been no rain. So hot that you can't even breathe out here. So I'm going to try to do this garden tour. And I'll post it on Saturday. And then I have to get to a harvest. But this is all big Kahuna beans. Thank God that I decided to go with this. In case you're new here, I lost all my other beans too. And these, I've been killing them and sucking them up with a suck vac. But yeah, I'm really glad that I decided to do beans over here. The Kahuna beans, I think they say 11 inches, so they're not exactly there yet, but, and a marigold is in there. So yeah, full tower of beans. I guess I did some yellow wax beans, but I am blessed to have this for sure. Okay, so this is kind of the front. This is that gate. It's just temporary, this fencing we put up because of Trinity, to keep her out of the garden. So the new herb barrel that's doing great. Zinnias of the deadhead. This is my Mother's Day gift from my son. Doesn't have any of the blossoms on it. I showed that for Mother's Day. And this is my tower of my, oh, some people call them yard beans. These are the Chinese red noodle beans that are finally starting to trellis all the way up. Finally, my friends, finally. And here we go. We got our first red noodle bean. I'm happy to see that. Okay, let's go. This is a big sunflower. That's my other Mother's Day gift right there. Down at the bottom, Dianthus. I just have to deadhead. Okay, here's the bed. Let's talk about this in this garden tour. This was the bed that was covered in those Mexican bean beetles. All right. So, did the video. I do have a little bit more information about them. I hope somebody didn't steal a bean. But this is what's going on with this bed. Nothing. My neighbor came over. She said, oh no, I wish I would have had your phone number. I would have helped you with the bug infestation. So that was thoughtful of her. And then we went in and planted a bunch of beans. Her and I both. Her name is Debbie. We planted the beans. We left those so we could see what's going on. Here's some more zinnias. So We just did that a day or two ago. So I can see the birds are picking at some beans, but that's okay. We may get another, hopefully, what my goal is of beans, hopefully. Another sunflower there leads you back to the tower. My come salsa with me garden. I love it. So, yeah. These purple ones I left here, even with the infestation. She did see the bugs. We went over to Voon's plant and we were picking off little baby bugs and their eggs. So, this is all filled in with all types of beans. A couple are, I just want to cover them just in case the birds, but hopefully I get a good decent harvest of beans after losing over 1,000 bean plants. So it was kind of stinky. And then we planted the Scarlet runner bean. I had one that I've been treating. I'm not seeing any eggs. I've been spraying it with neem. It's a beautiful flower. Bought a pack of the Scarlet runner beans. They only give you like, maybe 6 max of those beans in a pack. Could have been 4. We put more right here. And Debbie and I filled this whole bed with beans because I refused to be defeated, and I'm going in with more beans. And that's what we did. We square foot gardens all the beans. Some are popping up. You're probably saying stop pushing them down, but we only just did them a day ago. Okay. Here are Voon's October beans. This is where we were picking off a lot of the bugs, like the eggs and little baby bugs. And I have been treating this with neem oil, spraying it at night. I did just harvest some of these. I showed that in my live. I did a rough estimate and just, I would say maybe about 3 pounds, 2.5, 3 pounds. So I'm going to end up canning them. In case you didn't see that video, and there are more eggs right there. So let me get this off, but this is what she was helping me with. Yeah. Smush them. Oh, it's weird. I don't usually ever see the Japanese lanterns towards the front, but I am today. So yeah, you have to go behind your leaves and look, because, sorry, it's blurry. There's babies. So it's a continuous thing with this plant, but I'm just going to keep treating it with neem. But this is not being affected at all. The Chinese red noodle bean, not being affected at all. I did come in here with some other seeds, beans, and you can see some of them are already coming up. And this is a rock. They're already coming up. And yeah, I had a goal to do a lot of beans. So I did this right after the disaster of the infestation. And so not quite a week, but all the beans are coming up. I'm hoping Ragnarok peppers, it wasn't thoroughly dry. I do remember planting like maybe 3 or 4 of his seeds right here. So cross your fingers that they come up. But you can see there's germination. And now that I have neem oil, I will be on top of this. I put a baby marigold in over here to help with the nasturtiums, which is also what's growing in that tower. So yeah, I have more beans coming up, and I harvested a lot of these, but I might go in and pick again. And look at this gorgeous, this is the Kahuna beans. We're just gonna go around. Look at how gorgeous this nasturtium is. It's just flowing onto the ground. Gorgeous. Absolutely love it. And I plant it like an India red. So that should pop up soon. These are my carrots that are inside a bucket, pot. These are like the little fingers, so these have a little ways to go. So This was like my green bed of lettuces and stuff for spring. And that took a while to go through all those greens. And then the only thing that I planted was her October beans, which I thought needed a trellis. I might remove that trellis and use it. I'll show you why as we go through the garden tour. So more beans in there. Here are my red beets. These are the tall top red beets right here. And then tall top in the middle, which maybe the hose got them a little bit rough last night. Just gonna fluff these up. And then Chautauqua beets, and then I have that gap because I have cabbages to take out today. Big time. Not doing good with the stackables this year. I did put a lemon basil in there, but because it's so hot, this one just killed my borage, or at least it looks like it's dead. I will trim it back again, but it had spinach in it for spring. But once we got into these temps with no rain, I'm not even bothering. It's just everything's getting burned. This is my other borage, and this is my section of the sugar baby pumpkins, all right in here. Then I have sugar baby. I had a calendula in here that was doing really good. I thought I would just leave it. I'm gonna have to come in and cut off some of those ones that are dead and trim that back so that continues to grow. But sugar baby pumpkins, well, the little baby pumpkins is on that side. Then I have sugar baby watermelon, but I also have all of these sunflowers everywhere. Sugar baby watermelon, and then crimson watermelon. Finally got some flowers going on right there, if you can see that. So hopefully it trails up. But we were taking the suck vac and sucking the Japanese lanterns off of them. Beautiful sunflowers. So there's so many sunflowers. I will say this. The sunflowers like trap crop, and that's where the Japanese lanterns tend to go, is up the stem of the sunflowers. So if it leaves my other stuff alone, it's whatever, but I've been killing them. And there, we could see this together. Let me see if I can get it, because I'm on my roommate's phone. We have a little watermelon starting right there. This is the patch I used last year. So crimson's over here, and the sugar baby is right here. Oop, there's one. That looks like a crimson though. So yeah, it's just been hard because it's just been so hot. Zero rain, literally. So, but excited to see. We have something going on here. I'm not seeing any pumpkins yet, but hopefully. Sugar baby, and then crimson. Lots of watermelons, but that's what I wanted it to do, was to grow up the fence line. Like to grow up the sunflowers and not over my neighbor's fence. Okay, behind me is corn I'm growing in a pot that Voon gave me. I forget the name of it, but it's doing really, really well. It has some burning, but I don't even know to just leave it, pull it off. I don't know, because this is an experiment, and that's to grow corn in a pot. Because then you figure if the winds come, it should hold this all together. But there is a little burning. Okay, so there's the red beets, cabbages. You can see this one's ready. This one's ready. It's had some bites, but it's okay. I'm going to give these leaves to the girls, the chickens. Yep, so I have to harvest cabbages. And then I might go and put my seedling starts of the I think it's Mammoth Rock, like a red cabbage, and put that over here. I'm already thinking of fall gardening. Trust me on that. Grilling zucchini. There's a lot in this bed, my friends. This is all my squashes. All of them. You could see squash. Debbie and I cleaned this up of dead leaves, but of course there's more. Let me see if I could find it. So I have acorn squash in here. Here's a beauty. Look at it. We have I have acorn squash in here. I have meat squash in here. I also have, and is that a bug? Hold on, my friends, because if I can get it by folding over the leaf, that would be amazing. Wish me luck. This all squash bug. I'm trying to pinch it in the leaves, and now he's dead. Right there. So neem, I treated last night with neem after I watered, so I don't know if that was a good idea. So, charhead squash, acorn squash, butternut squash, and the meat squash. I need the deadhead, my sunflowers, my marigolds. I have them everywhere. And I made that trellis near Voon's beans, the October beans. I've used every trellis for back here, but I need more because I'm using like sticks to hold it up. This should be spaghetti squash, but it's going across the ground. I don't like that, so I need to get it up. But let me get in here and show you this. Look at that. Gorgeousness. I think that's going to be the meat squash, which is what I really, really wanted this year. There's also like a butternut honey in here. So, yep, I put all my squashes and, sort of like putting all your eggs in one basket. I put all my squashes in one basket, and we'll just see how it goes. But I think this right here, this section, is the butternut. And I only did like one or two of, there's the cabbage. I only did one or two seeds of spaghetti squash just because of what stores better, and I think that's what's crawling across the ground. There's some basil in there, but you can see other squashes are starting. It's a mess, but so far it's a good mess. It's my second squash bug that I saw, and I've been checking the underneath of the leaves for the eggs. There's another squash right there starting, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be a bunch of meat squashes. That's okay. I'll take it. So yeah, I think I want to put this up. So let me walk by carefully. This is the other side of this squash bed. I'm just taking a look around. More squash coming right there. But until I see my butternut squash going, I really want them this year. I don't care if the acorn squash doesn't make it or the spaghetti squash doesn't make it. What was important to me was I wanted to try that honey butternut squash. My butternut squash, the meat squash, the jarhead. I really, really wanted that. So lots of prayers for that. We'll see how that works out. But this is trellising all the way down. And I would let it do that, but it is attaching itself, as you can see, on a couple zinnias. So I need to get this trellis up. Watermelons, cabbages, corn, two different types of the red beets, squash, and now we're on to peppers. No, this does not have a disease. I don't know if I'll put out a video sooner, but again, my video that I put for blossom end rot on peppers, I had 3 pepper plants that were doing that last year, and I posted that video specifically for Miss Andel. Knock on wood, so far this year I have no problem with that. But this is my variegated candy cane plant. I've been already picking peppers off of it. I need to do a major harvest and bring you along. This is a dwarf one right here, and for some reason I just don't think they do as good as the big ones. But you can see peppers in there. There's just peppers, and I need to harvest. So lots going on. Peppers are doing good. Can you see? Just a little bit of fallen leaves or yellow leaves. I just pick them off. I have so many different types of peppers. Yep, so it's time to do a harvest because I would have probably picked these by now. I picked the first ones off of the season, but this will be my first big harvest. And if you get them off, it gives the plant time to grow and just keep giving you more and more harvests. This is more basil, which I've been staying on top of it. Now today it has a couple seeds, but I'm going to have to prune this again, and I'm going to make some basil pesto. So let me just set those seeds right there. More peppers, more peppers, more peppers right there. I hope this quality comes out good on this video because it's my roommate's. And yeah, lots of peppers going on. This is the entire bed is sweet peppers over here. And I make these little piles of leaves and then I just pick them up later. But I wanted to get this video done before it gets god-awful. This is half hot. In this bed, my shishito peppers are coming in. Yay. More basil to prune, but that's okay because I'm going to make basil pesto. So half of this is hot. Look at this. This has so many buds on it. I'm wondering if this is the hot cayenne. Pretty sure that it is. And then I have hot banana peppers right there that I have to harvest. This is the hot Serrano peppers, which, okay, why am I growing these? I have to thank myself. I think I wanted to grow these to make some hot sauce. Homemade hot sauce, or if I just need something with a little kick. I've been pruning these, but you see the bottoms? Like, you need to keep going through. Like this pepper over here is, oops, leaves are in your way. It's touching the ground. I did come in and pick off some of the fallen leaves, as you can see. I just have to go back and pick it up. But I try to come in here and pick the lower leaves off, and then any leaves that have fallen in the bed. Same with over here in the sweet bed, which are giant Marconis. Oh my goodness, the resistant green pepper from M.I. Gardner. Carmen Italian. Let's see, look. Can you see? I know you get leaves in your way. Peppers. So, sweet. Half hot. There's jalapeno, if I'm not mistaken, in here. Plus I planted not a ton, but a few things over on my side garden. Then this is all the sweet peppers. Same as last year. So, half a bed of sweet. And I have to do a picking, big time. Okay, purple opal basil is in with the sweet bed, along with the marigold and regular basil. This one is the marigold, regular basil, and let's take a look and see. Dum, 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 dum. Look at that. That's the big, like, giant green bell pepper. I think it's a Big Bertha. And lemon basil right there. But look at these Big Berthas. There we go. So, half hot, half sweet, which leads to my row and my mint. And a nasturtium is also in this bed. I really hope that this does okay. Like I said, I'm using my roommate's phone. This mine shuts down quite a bit. I have a lot of these leaves. I had a lot of these last year. I don't really worry about them too much, honestly. My eggplants always seem to do fine. I might not have all the ones that I absolutely love, but some is better than none. So I have Purple Beauties. Now, let me think. I have like Little Fingers, Black Beauties. I'm hoping one of my Rosa Blancas, because the big one snapped. There's also a baby one right there. Rosa Blanca, hopefully an Oswald. Let me get you in there so you can see. Hopefully you can see. Has lots of buds on. I'm going to try to go in the bed with you. There's eggplants all in here. I've been loving these. It's perfect size for me. This plant, I picked them off already. They're just longer, a little bit fatter than these. Little fingers, little toes, all those types. And then gorgeousness. So I will have eggplant, thank goodness. And this is where these Chinese lanterns like to hang on the stem back here. So probably another, see, they hop. See? They're everywhere here. It's horrible. So this one may be Rosa Blanca right there. Whoops. Rosa Blanca. My roommate's phone's not looking good on this end to me. Okay. So all eggplants right here. Gigantic nasturtium. It's literally hanging out of the bed. If you don't know, it's an all edible plant. You can use the flowers. A little spicy like pepper, but it's good. There's lots of blooms going on. That's how tall my... Why is it... There we go. That's how tall my peppers are. They're getting there again. So eggplants, all different sorts of eggplants are in here. More tomatoes. So let's talk about the tomatoes. I put these up, but this is what's going on. I had to come in here again, and I have to take off. I did get my first 2 Roma tomatoes out of this bed yesterday, I think it was. Okay, let me show you. I have to hopefully not break this one. Hold on a second, my friends. See, I have to tie this one up. I'm getting some blight, which is something I never get. And I'm getting it because it's so stinking humid here. You just can't avoid it, honestly. So I have to refasten this tomato plant up today. I'm just going to wrap it around this rod. There are Roma tomatoes in here. There are big boys in here. See how you can look up and then you'll see some blight? I just yank it and take it right off. But that's exactly what it's coming from. It's not coming from watering above. It's not coming from, you know, there's not enough air. Well, there's not enough air, but it's coming because of the humidity here. So lots of different tomatoes in here. I'm not tomato crazy this year. I think I planted a good decent amount. And what I get is what I get. I definitely want to do diced tomatoes and a few more jars of gravy. Look at all the eggplants. I just saw them out the corner of my eye. Look at them all. There's a lot. So yeah, I have to do a harvest. And then everybody else can have the tomatoes because I grew so many last year. So like Better Boy, Big Boy, Romas are in here. Here is some more basil. I am just taking these off. You kind of want to get to these before the seeds, but that's like almost humanly impossible. I mean, we did so many chores out here yesterday morning that I just felt sick from it. I just needed to stay in the house the rest of the day. So yeah, a little bit more pinning up, as you can see. But overall, the health is good on these tomatoes. Just has a little blight on the underneath leaves. And again, I have to fasten them up. So we have tomatoes there. But I'd have to say, besides a couple cherry tomatoes and the 2 Romas, that was my first red tomatoes. So eggplants, tomatoes, zinnias. I have to do some deadheading, of course. Deadheading, you just pull it off so your zinnias keep growing. No, I'm not going to throw that in the trash. That is trash, our leaves from cleaning this up the other day, me and the neighbor. But I will be sure to collect them. And these, look at how these zinnias look in the front from the heat. Terrible. So I'm going to drop some more zinnia seeds in. But that's how you deadhead. You just pick one off. I have a couple within my tomatoes, this other bed. Which I never really do that. But I did it this time. Why not? And some cosmos. There's some cosmos going to seed. I'm just going to sprinkle it in there. Then I'll water it in. So cosmos, different types of zinnias. Nothing's really going on with this beige tower either, except this, my friends. This is milkweed. Took me a while to get it going, but I got it. Super excited about it. We're now going to be at the back row. Some of these sunflowers are being pushed from the zucchinis. But I don't usually put sunflowers on the front row. I usually do the whole fence line. So this is different. Birds like to drop seeds, so I'll deal with it. But I have milkweed going in here. I had kale going in here, and they ate it. I may take this one out and plant this somewhere else since it's getting smashed. Welcome to the Zucchini Patch. Look at the size of that. And I am in Joe, Garden State Gardeners Challenge. The biggest zucchini. Here comes the plane. Sorry. Okay, so that's the monster. I have to pick it and do the length on it. This is a fat daddy down here too. Look at this, my friends. I picked a couple of zucchini. I gave some to my neighbor for helping me. I don't know if you could see back there. Try to zoom in some. Let me go over this way. Okay, so let me back up here. This is the eggplant right there. And then you see, they like to cling onto the sunflowers. Okay, so I showed you that. Here is the bed of alpha cucumber. I only gotten 2 cucumbers. I see 1, 2, 3 starting. I have been coming in here giving it air circulation, and I'm scared, so I think I'm going to drop another seed. I have Thai basil. I have comfrey back there from Pam. Let me see if I can get in here. That's the Thai basil because I wanted to reseed. And this is how great this comfrey is doing. Look at that. Fabulous. And then I have other cosmos and stuff over there. And just beautiful sunflowers. A little hard to get in here. But I'm putting all my eggs in one basket when it comes to this betta alpha that gave me such trouble germinating. And whoops, dropped it right inside the cucumbers. There's one there going. There's one back there. There's another one down there. So I've been trimming the leaves. I'm going to have to do it again because this is just a little, I guess you could say, blight on cucumbers. I like to take off the dead leaves. But I don't think I'm going to start it in I think I'm just going to put the seed in the ground. Move some mulch over and drop me an extra seed or 2 or 3 of cucumbers. I struggle with cucumbers here. I don't know why. So yeah, gonna go in with some more, but the bees are going into the flowers, and I got my first cucumbers yesterday. Okay, holy smokes. Look at the size of that summer squash. Got to get that off of there so it focuses its energy back into the rest of the plant, but it's enormous. So is my borage. I'm not sure if this is going to turn into something. But look at the sunflower. Absolutely gorge. I planted so many different ones, I can't even tell you all the names. So I'm getting pretty full, as you can see. Loaded back here of zucchinis that I have to harvest. Look at that monster. Get ready, Joe. And then, oh my gosh, look. There's another big one down there. There's Cocazella back there. Unless that's the Italian one. But I usually grow Crocazellas and I didn't have any more seeds. So I definitely want to seed save. But can you get a better look at that now? Look at how big that, oh my gosh, that's why these are spreading out. Because they're just getting so big. There's more down there going. We'll keep going. Sunflowers. Beautiful wall of sunflowers. And now there's the whole front walkway is sunflowers. So getting into the zucchinis. Interesting now with all these extra sunflowers. Just trying to take a look real quick. See what I see. I have a marigold down there. You can hear the bees buzzing back here. This is finally starting. This is that yellow prolific zucchini squash, summer squash, right there. First one coming in. Bees are back here. I'm not trying to disturb them. And so is this one. This over here, I got two. They're like oval shaped. These are called grilling zucchinis. Highly recommend. Highly recommend, but I don't know if any more is growing on here. You know how it goes with summer squash and zucchini. Turn your eyes. You'll have more. Yup, there's one down there that's growing. So I always do the wall of sunflowers. The bees are loving it. They're finally here, the bees. There wasn't many. And now I have a front row of sunflowers, which is different for me. But I always do a bunch of zucchinis close together. These are some cherry tomatoes. Let me see if the tag still has writing on it. This may end up being Barry's Crazy Cherry Tomato. So I put one back here, and